The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Cowboys Storyline with Nick Eatman.
Good morning. Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. It is Friday, December 27th. It's last day of the week to get ready for Cowboys and Eagles. If we're even thinking that way, are the Cowboys focused on winning this game? They say they are. They say they're going to Philly to win, and I'm sure that that's the case. Is everybody going to Philly? I don't know about that. Found out yesterday. No surprise. CeeDee Lamb is not going to play this game or the rest of the season. They're going to shut him down, and I think that's a good idea. I think everybody kind of feels that way. He's done enough. He's been through a lot of pain. He's proven his point. He's a warrior, all that. Now let's go shut it down. Let's get him, back to 100% again and start the rehab process sooner than later. I don't think he's going to need surgery, but still, he's been going on a lot of that pain and 100 catches. He's over. I think he's went 1,100 yards there. Actually, I'm not even sure what his yards are this year, but he's had a great season, and he has been a guy that I think has set the tone for the rest of the team. So, it's Emmett-like what he's been able to do. Obviously, the stakes were not as high as they were when he did that game and all that good stuff. But still, pretty big performance out of CeeDee Lamb. So, all right, 888-855-2297 is our number to call. We already have a caller on the line, so let's go right to it. Carolina. He lives in Carolina, but he's on the road. Where are you at right now?
What's going on, man? About to cross over the line from Shreveport to Texas, and this one for you. Here we go.
Here we go. All right, love it. I was born in Shreveport.
On, man?
That's
you was born in Shreveport?
Born in Shreveport. Didn't stay long.
So that means you eat boudin. That's what that means.
I don't know what. Oh no, not really. I was one, so I think it was like Gerber. It was like, and then we moved. All right. Well, I hadn't heard from you in a little bit. Carolina, you been on the road?
Man, I told Nick, I said, I got a bone to pick with you, man. I've been calling, he won't let me in. Did you put me on the block list for a while? What's going on, man?
Yeah, well, the bone that you picked was with
man.
Chris.
Got to be good with them fingers. That's what he said. I got to work my magic.
That's right. How you been, what do you got? I'm good.
How was Christmas, man?
Great. It was outstanding, wonderful. Still finding toys and things like that I need to put together and all that good stuff. But it's been great.
Still buying batteries.
Still getting batteries. You're right about that. So.
Oh, man. Well, man, I don't got too much for you today. Just want to say, man, I've been loving what the Cowboys have been doing, man. I heard you talking on Monday. You're saying, okay, yeah, I'll be willing to keep McCarthy just with a few wrinkles. And I think the biggest wrinkle would be an offensive coordinator. Just somebody to do all the play calling and just let him run the team as a whole and not have to worry about that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm 100% with you on that. And I'm over here thinking, like, man, can we do it? Can we beat the Eagles? CeeDee's out. Have you heard any update on if Jalen Hurts is going to play?
I've not heard on Jalen Hurts. I would imagine they're not going to probably, try to announce that news. It's going to come down to, if he's practicing at all. I have a feeling he's not going to play, and I usually am the other way around. When it comes to like another team's star player, I'm like, he's playing, he'll play. But in this case, with a concussion, I don't know. I would.
They usually have at least one game out, right? With that concussion protocol.
It's starting to look that way, and it has been for the Cowboys. Every concussion's different, every player's different, all that. But I thought he was going to go back in the game the other day. Maybe I was just thinking that way because he was on my fantasy team.
He definitely tried.
He tried.
He like, hey, I'm good. Let me in.
Yeah, this is how bad I am. I'm playing for fantasy football. I'm like, let him play. Come on, let him go. He says he's good. Thumbs up. He's good. What are we doing here?
Oh,
yeah.
Man, that's hilarious.
Terrible.
Yeah. He definitely looked shook, though. After he got up, he looked like he wasn't all the way there. So
yeah.
I'm glad they actually got him out of there. You don't ever want to see nobody hurt.
No. Well,
but For the Eagles, man, we gotta beat the Eagles, man. We already lost. We had a hard-fought game last time we played them all the way up to the halftime. 6-6, like.
Yeah.
And then they just let them run away with it. That just hurt my soul.
Was
I
it?
would like to say.
Was it 6-6 at the half?
It was, yes.
Or
right before they scored that last little quick touchdown with like a minute or something.
That's
left,
right.
That's
right. That's what it was. Because I think I'm getting my games mixed up. I think that was the one that Zeke fumbled down there inside the red zone, and then they drove and Overshown had a chance for a sack, and then the bottom kind of dropped out there in the second half. But it'll be competitive. I think it'll be a competitive game. I think the weather's going to play a factor. I think it's going to be kind of a sloppy game, messy. I think the Cowboys will have a shot. You have a shot to win these games. So we'll see.
Especially with Jalen Hurts out,
Sure.
that'll give us a big boost. I mean, the other guy, he's doing all right, Mr. Pickett, but
yeah.
I mean, that's just like saying, hey, we're going to put Cooper Rush in and hope we can win.
That's
I
true.
think they're going with the same thing. I think we just need to be able to bottle up their running game and keep the balls out of their top receivers, man, and figure out a way to run the ball. If we can figure out a way to run the ball, because apparently we struggled last game. I mean, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
He couldn't really get nothing, and it just made me think, like, dang, is that what happens when we play good defensive linemen? Like, have we just been running over bad teams?
That's part of it, and that's part of it for sure. That's been some of the success here is going up against teams that aren't very good and taking advantage of that. So
yeah. Well,
all right.
I hope for a victory. We never want to lose against the Eagles. So go Cowboys. My score is going to be 23-17.
All right.
I'm taking the old school score back.
Love it.
All
right.
Field goals, baby. Go Cowboys.
Go. All right. Sounds great. Thank you for Carolina being on the road, driving through Shreveport to Texas. All right. Let's go to Bruce. He's in Philly. That's where we're going to be. Bruce, what's up?
What's up, Nick? All right, you know how they say you're coming in hot? I'm coming in cold, Nick. I missed the beginning of the show, so I couldn't hear what was going on. I know you were on with Carolina, but I couldn't hear. So
well, you know what? We had questions that we didn't answer that maybe somebody in Philly could answer. The question was, what's the status on Jalen Hurts? And I said, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you've heard more than we have.
Well, I mean, my understanding is he's probably going to be out just because of that rule, if anything else. I don't think he's been cleared yet.
Okay.
So I don't know what the rule is in terms of him being cleared up until game time. Is it 48 hours before at least or something like that?
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, it's 90 minutes is before game time is when he's got to be, he can be cleared to play. I don't know about the 48-hour rule, but I honestly, the rules about concussion protocol and all that's a little bit different. So, he's gonna have to practice. I would think at some point during the weeks, Friday, today, maybe some Saturday, to get him to play. But maybe it's a situation where he's a backup. But those are always sticky, when he's the star quarterback. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. You just gotta go. win, one way or another.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be interesting to see what happens. So I called because I wanted to ask, Nick, because it seems like, this is a great show. I listen as much as I can, like all the time, but I can't call in all the time. But I think the quarterback position, especially for next year, is being underplayed. I know we're not into the autopsy part of the season yet of dissecting the team.
Right.
I'm on board with bringing back all the coaching staff, but I'm wondering, did we jump in on QB1 too soon? And two, for next year, I think more importantly than anything, the backup quarterback position is the most important position next year because I'm getting afraid that we're entering that Romo territory where Romo got hurt against Carolina, re-broke the collarbone, got hurt again in the preseason next year. And I think Dak is entering that part of his career. And I'm afraid, we're not giving enough attention to what they're going to do next year at the backup quarterback position.
Well, would you re-sign Cooper Rush?
I would not, because I think the position has evolved in a sense where, you need a guy that can turn bads into goods real quick. You see that with every other quarterback, it seems, in the NFL. All of them have a sense of mobility. And Cooper Rush, I mean, the first trouble games got all slow, Philly and Houston. And I know that McCarthy has done a great job of play calling around him. But you really need a guy. And that's what made Dak so great, is that he used to use his legs on those 3rd and 4s, those 3rd and 3s. We've had so many short yardage situations where we've ended up punting, and I think that Rush doesn't give us that, and I'm afraid that I'm not even sure that Dak gives us that anymore. Now, Trey Lance is the kind of guy, but, you know, he's lacking in other things in a sense. So I would like to see the Cowboys go. If you're looking at a backup guy, I like Carson Wentz as an idea, if that's an option, if he doesn't get a job, or even somebody like Tyrod Taylor, who's started before, who gives us that kind of quarterback mobility. But Rush and even Dak is lacking a little bit in that, and that scares me a little.
All right. Well, the Dak, you know, that's not going anywhere, obviously. So that right. You're gonna have to build around it. And I like the fact that Cooper Rush comes into the game. And you're right. He doesn't bring that element that you're looking at. And you obviously are looking for that quarterback that can run and get out of trouble.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like, and even Joe Burrow can do that.
Right.
Like, you wouldn't think of him as a classic run, but I mean, I need somebody who can get us 4 yards or even run to throw, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like both of our quarterbacks are the same in that way, where Dak's lost a little in that. And the one game where he's trying to get back to that, you see he got hurt. But I think we need a guy who can kind of sometimes cover up some of the bad plays that our O-line just makes at times. And I think most of the quarterbacks around the league give you that a little bit.
They do. They also create bad plays. Sometimes
right.
as well, you know. So there's the good and the bad here. Cooper Rush is not a guy that's going to go and no one's ever going to think he's Michael Vick. But at the same time, he's a solid quarterback that's not going to make a ton of mistakes. He knows exactly where the ball's supposed to go and how to get rid of it and kind of get out of the trouble, not by running, but maybe by getting rid of the football. So there's good to that, and there's bad. It's not flashy. He's also he's 9-4 as a starter. That's pretty good. Even if he loses these next 2 games, at 9-6 as a starter, as a backup that's pretty respectable for what you want your backup to be. So me personally, I know you disagree. I'm trying to re-sign Cooper Rush next year.
You want to see Rush back?
I like the continuity that he has, especially if you've got McCarthy there. But I do think there needs to be some changes in the offensive coordinator, maybe the play calling, just some tweaks there. Because
I agree 100%.
They got to change some of it. All right, Bruce, appreciate the call.
Hey,
thank you, man.
Yeah, Nick, be safe, man.
Real quick, Bruce, are you going to the game?
Yo.
You going to the game?
It's too cold for me, Nick. I'm going to some bad games, but not this winter. The stakes aren't high enough this time. I'm going to have to sit this one out, brother.
Fair. I appreciate that. Yeah, fair. And I'll throw another element to that too, because what you're saying is it's cold. The stakes aren't high enough, but I can promise you the tickets are probably still pretty high. So I don't know if it's worth it.
They're always going to be high. I mean, this is still a Cowboys-Eagles game. So, yeah, Nick. Hey, man, you get up here, be safe, and bring your coat.
All right. I will. We definitely will do that. Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate that. All right, let's go to Davian in Illinois. 2 days in a row now.
What's up, Nick?
What's up, man? You making this a habit.
Well, I'm trying to. I know it's too late to get on the storyline as far as calling in, but I'm trying to make it do what I do.
You know, I know somebody on the committee, and I just talked to him, and we make exceptions to everything. So we'll see. You know, I don't rule out anything at this point. So what do you got, man? What do you got?
Well, today I wanted to tell you yesterday, man, I really appreciate you, Chris, Derek, all y'all. I mean, y'all my favorites as far as you and Brothers, Nick, and Derek. I've been rocking with you since the beginning. I mean, I will go all the way back to the beginning of the Cowboys break, lunch break, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, taking it back.
Yeah, man, I've been rocking with y'all since y'all started. So it's just been it's truly a pleasure to get this to where it's at now.
Appreciate it.
It's definitely a good time. Honestly, I ain't got much today, man. I just wanted to pop in. I'm on the way driving right now with the kiddo. So just was going to say, I really think we should win. It's only contingent on if Jalen plays. If Jalen plays, I think we're going to lose because Jalen Cooper has not beat Jalen yet.
True.
So, but if Jalen don't play, then we got a great chance. If he don't play, I think the Cowboys will win 24-21, something like that. But if he does, then, of course, I don't think we will.
Davian,
But
question for you. Biggest surprise of the season, pleasant surprise for this season, and biggest disappointment for this season for you? Putting you right on the spot.
You put me on a tee.
Yeah.
Biggest disappointment, of course, has been the coaching failure of whatever had going on with the Ricos. I really wish somebody would come out and honestly tell us what was that whole thing, because I don't understand why we took so long to get the Rico. I did not want Zeke back. Zeke was just, he was done. I don't know why we brought him back, but that's here and there. Biggest surprise was Overshown. That is, man, that guy just hate he got hurt. That was my guy. I was gonna probably get his jersey here probably next year, but
you can still get it. You can get it.
Yeah, I will. I hope he goes to the zero, though. It'll be cool if he goes to the zero. But yeah, that'd be my pleasant surprise of him.
Okay.
And Leopold's looking pretty good too.
Yeah.
So I mean, both of them are really looking real nice. I really enjoy them both.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're looking forward to good space on Monday, talking about some more of this draft. So if anybody want to tune in, we do a space on Monday nights about the draft.
Okay. Well, it's about that time to start talking about it for sure. Starting to see these players declared for the draft and all that. Davian, y'all be safe on the road with your kiddo. Appreciate the call again, and always the honest feedback. I love that. So appreciate it.
Happy New Year to y'all. I would definitely check in probably next year, of course.
All right.
Next week.
See you next
I'm
year.
still out work, so we'll see you next week.
All right. I bet you we talk to you before the year's out. All right. Let's go to Zach in Atlanta.
What is up, Nick? How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good, man. You know what the energy is. It's Dallas forever, Philly for never. Cry, Eagles, cry. Dare I say die, Eagles, die, because we're going to get them this Sunday, man. Something goofy, backup quarterbacks galore. It's everybody's favorite treat. They moved it out of the flex zone or the prime time zone flexed out.
Yeah, they did.
Because it was, it's going to be fun. I'm going to go 24-23 Cowboys. And my wife and I are driving to Texas tonight. And we're spending Christmas with my family for the next week. So I'll get to watch a Cowboys game and a Texas Longhorns game with my family for the first time in a good while. So I'm hoping for some wins on both fronts. But, yeah, man, It's time to see what these number 3, 4, and 5 receivers got, Let's spam Mingo. Let's spam Tolbert. Let's get Schoonmaker back involved. I feel like he hadn't had any catches in the past game or two. He was doing well with Ferguson out, so just get him going, man.
Yeah.
That's what we got to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say he's been about comparable when he was the starter. I have to look at the stats, but comparable to what Ferguson has been in there as the starter too. I'm not trying to stir up a tight end controversy here or anything like that, but I'm just saying. And that might be what the tight end one position gets you.
Competition is good for business, man. Let's have 2 good tight ends going for it.
Yep, for sure.
But that's it, man. What's your cheesesteak preference in Philly? Where you're dropped in the middle of Philly? Where you're going?
Right in the center, right there. I like options. I like. I'm one of those guys that orders like the chicken and the steak, or the chicken and just because it's like, just give me some combinations. Just give me options. So put me right there in the center. I don't care if it sounds touristy or not. I was just telling Chris that yesterday. I hate when people say that, like, don't go there. Don't go to Pat and Gino's. That's the traditional spot. Put me right there. I look over here. Which line is longer? Oh, no, I'm going over here. Geno's, Pat, I don't care. Right down the center. I don't care about gyms or what's the one that was in the movie Creed. I forget that one. There's another one in there. Max or something like that. Just put me right there. I can look at 2 options, and I'm going for the shortest line. That's what I go with.
Love it. Well, eat one for me, man. Y'all have a safe trip,
right.
and we'll celebrate a win.
Thank you. All right, man. Good to hear from Zach. You know, the guys that run the or cafeteria here, it's called the training table. They got a sense of humor. They always do. They being clever with the food options that they give. And so we had Philly cheesesteaks yesterday at lunch. Of course, not everybody got to partake in that because most people aren't here. But the ones that are here and did get to eat lunch got the Philly cheesesteak for sure. All right, let's go to Dylan, Northport, Florida.
Hey, Nick. Good morning.
Dylan, what's up?
Hey. I haven't been listening this morning so far. I got to listen back. Has anybody asked you what your favorite Christmas present was that you got?
No.
What was it?
Socks. No, I'm just kidding. Got some. And actually, I mean, it's up there. It's up there on the list. I'll tell you my favorite present that I got. My wife got me this. And it's weird because we have a VR headset that was purchased, and then there's an Xbox and games and all that. But I also got the the flash drive to put in for 20,000 retro games. So I played old school Nintendo games while my son is playing in his VR headset. I'm playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out, RBI baseball, and I loved it.
The duck one, right? Duck one.
I didn't get into that, but yeah, it was. But that was one of my favorite games. Super Mario Brothers. I'm playing all this kind of stuff. So it was like Back to the Future of video games in our household in one day. I mean, to see VR and then the Xbox games and Fortnite and all that. Tried to play with Chris the other day. You think Chris can run this board? You should see him on Fortnite. He's an assassin. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm
right.
sure. No, I've talked to Chris about some of the games. I'm an avid gamer too, so we talked a little bit about some of the games he plays. It's crazy though how much stuff's evolved. I can't imagine where it's going to go in the next 10, 15, 20 years.
Right.
But yeah, man. So we're coming down in August or so for camp, so that'll be cool. My wife actually got me VIP tour tickets. I don't think they're available yet, but she got me a plane ticket, and I'll be coming down just before that in July to do the VIP tour of the stadium and all that fun stuff. I've never been before, so that'd be really cool to do that. So I got back-to-back Cowboys stuff, man. I'm so pumped.
Nice. In July.
Yeah. In July, I'll be doing the tour.
When Bruce in Philly said to me, you didn't hear the show, but he's in Philly. He said, "Hey, enjoy the trip. Bring your coat." I won't say that to you, and when you come down here in July, I won't be saying that. So you don't need that.
Okay, I'll bring my StoryLine shirt. I'll bust out of the frame here.
Cut off sleeves, maybe. And turn it into a tank top. Yeah, we don't talk weather, but I can tell you what July is going to feel like here, and it's going to be like an oven. So, cool.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. As far as football goes, man, just real quick, I just wanted to give Matt props because I haven't heard many people talk about Maris Leofau, dude. The development he's had this season and what he's kind of become as far as his 2 games in a row, punching balls out and stuff. He's hitting hard, hitting legal, which is just as important.
That's a good point.
But he's developing nicely, man. I'm excited.
He really is. And then, that looks like a good, solid draft pick as well. I like his game. Smart player. They gave him.
He can sing too.
He can sing. He can sing. Problem with that is that, we try to do certain things with him and singing and you got to have copyrights to everything anymore. You can't even sing any song that you've ever heard of. So we
need to write a StoryLiner song and give it to him. Let him sing it.
You know what? If you know somebody that can kind of create a group of people and put them on Twitter or something like that, and then y'all can recruit that, and then y'all can have singing competitions and all that, yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah.
So, I know a guy. I'll put a post up.
All right. Yeah. Figure that out and come out.
Sure.
That's what I love about when you have groups like this. Somebody's got talent. We probably have a doctor in the group. We got a singer in the group. I know we have some singers because I've heard them. And, we got some rappers, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
All good.
All right, Nick. Thanks, man. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, too. All right, Dylan, Northport, Florida. Let's take a break here. Man, the time's going by quickly. We're going to take a break here on the Storyline. Be right back to get another call.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
All right, welcome back to Cowboys Storyline. We're going to move quickly here to another caller. We have Champ. He's in Nebraska. How's it going over there?
Hey, Nick, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Have a
Friday,
white
ready
Christmas?
for the weekend.
Did y'all have a white
No,
Christmas?
no, actually we haven't. Just a lot of sprinkle.
Okay. Yeah.
So, hey, real quick, I wanted to throw a couple of things at you. I didn't get a movie in. I know Christmas has already passed, but I hadn't heard this one mentioned. 8 Crazy Nights, the Adam Sandler one. Ever watched it?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites. I don't watch it every year, but it's a really good movie. Other than that, I'd have to go with Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Also, I was listening to 105.3 The Fan this morning when they interviewed Coach McCarthy. And, man, he sounded really upbeat, in a good mood. And I'm thinking, this doesn't sound like a man that's coaching for his job for these last 2 games. So, no CeeDee or anything. And for him to sound the way he did, I'm thinking maybe something's already been told. He's been told, hey, maybe we don't announce it yet, but we're bringing you back. He just sounded really, really good. I don't know if you heard his interview or anything, but he sounded like somebody that wasn't thinking, I just lost my best offensive player, and I'm coaching for my job, and he's not available. What do I do? He sounded completely different.
Yeah.
Then I had a couple of people that I heard talking about Saquon's chance at a rushing record. He's still a couple 100 yards out, but he's done that already this year. I think against the Rams or somebody, he went off on him. And I was thinking, would fans be willing to give him that rushing record against us as long as we got the win in a somewhat meaningless game? Personally, take it. I don't care if he rushes for 500 yards and we win by 1 point. I'm okay with it. I want the win.
Right.
But, some people may be like, no, it's a meaningless win. I don't want him breaking that record against us. So I don't know what your take on that is. I have the Cowboys somehow squeaking out.
Eric Dickerson has the record, right? You're talking about the
correct?
Yeah, and
yes.
Who did he break it against in Week 16?
That I don't know.
Yeah, me either.
I'm talking about
me either.
Saquon breaking it. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
That's my point. Like nobody
would know.
Nobody knows that.
That's right.
Just win the game. Yeah. Just win the game.
That's right. Yeah. I see what you did there, and I agree 100%. Win the game.
Right.
I got the Cowboys winning a close one. I have it 16-14, somehow pulling it out. I think the defense is going to keep us in it. I don't know how we're going to score many points, but I see us scoring just enough.
Okay.
So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Go Cowboys, and we'll talk to you next week, hopefully.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Champ. Good to hear from you. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. And he's got he's got a long ways to go to break the record. I mean, I looked this up. I mean, Eric Dickerson had like 2,100 yards, like 2,105. He's at 1,830. I mean, he's trying to get to 2,000 yards. And you know, not a lot of players have ever done that. I think it's like 7 or 8. So, I mean, he could get there. I mean, he could get 2,100 if that's all that they're trying to do. But you know, they're trying to win the game, and you know, they still got to lock up the division, and they're trying to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs and that number 1 seed. Now, I'll say all that if Hurts is, even if he plays, he's banged up, or if he doesn't play, the focus is going to be on running the ball and trying to, you know, let your other star players, you know, make some plays. Those games that Aikman didn't play, I mean, they leaned on Emmett even more in those games, and rightfully so. So it's not a bad strategy to get the ball to Barkley. He's been, you know, in my opinion, if I don't have an MVP vote, I would vote him as the MVP. I know it's a quarterback award now, and the offensive player of the year is a non-quarterback award, is what it seems like. But, you know, if you're going to call it an MVP, most valuable player, I would say it's Saquon Barkley for me, for what he's done to the league, to that team. They had Hurts, they had Brown, they had, you know, all those guys. He's come in here and changed things. He's brought some value there. Josh Allen, and, you know, I mean, if they're not going to give it to Mahomes every year, it's kind of like Michael Jordan. If you're not going to do that, then switch it up. But I think Barkley should be worthy of MVP votes because I think he's brought a lot of value there for sure. Let's go to Randy in San Antonio as our next caller. Randy.
Hey, Nick. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Great Christmas. I'll throw my movie in real quick. The original Miracle on 34th Street.
Right.
And then I love Vacation as well.
Nice.
Real quick, it was really fun. I got to call an audible. I was going to call and talk a little bit about one of the coaches on the staff. You know, you become fans of guys for different reasons, but I got to talk to Darren Woodson, so that was probably even better than talking about the coach.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
But, you know, we talk about the higher-ups, and we've talked a lot about whether we want something to change or not. And I always think, man, if you change the head coach, you're starting over to some degree, and where do you go from there? But I was stationed in Kingsville, Texas from 1994 to 1996, and I had a great secondary on that team. But their main cornerback was a guy that started out in Tampa Bay, then he went to Philadelphia, then he went to Green Bay, and now he's coaching with Dallas.
Al Harris.
So it's Al Harris. You know, where does that leave guys like that, right? I think most people would like for him to stay, but at some point, I think if you bring in a new coach, you say, hey, you get to bring your own guys in.
Yeah.
But I think most of the fans would love to keep Al Harris here, but what do you got to do that if you go one of these different directions? I'm not a big fan of when you've had so much success starting over. Just something to think about.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be kind of a wild game this weekend with Philadelphia. So we'll see what happens. I probably lean towards Philadelphia winning, though I hate doing it. Score something kind of crazy, 13-10, not like what people think.
Randy,
and just,
you're one of the few people that probably know what a javelina is.
Well, I do know what a javelina is. For a long time, you know, when they would score when I was there, they would throw tortillas in the air. Now, I'll tell you, I was all in on the javelinas while I was stationed there. Al Harris had an interception in a game, and it's probably the most excited I've ever been, you know, during a live sporting event up to that point. And then the game was one of the most disappointed I'd ever been because they had 7 guys that went into the NFL from the 2 years I was there, and end up losing in the playoffs to UC Davis.
Got it.
So
Division II football there. My college, Midwestern State, played A&M Kingsville several times. A javelina is a hog. It's not a razorback because there's only one razorback, but it's like that. It kind of looks like that as well, the logo. All right, Randy. Yep.
One real quick, I don't think when I was there, I don't think Midwestern State had a team because I grew up in the Wichita Falls area as well.
91 came back in 91. Football was
okay.
gone.
So I went in the Navy
years.
in 1990.
Okay, 91 came back. All right, I'm glad they did because they had some facilities that the Cowboys used for training camp, and that's how they came to training camp.
Yeah, got you in the door, right?
Scoop me up. Yeah, that's right. All right, Randy, appreciate that. Good stuff. Let's go. Lines are open here. We're going to take a break. 888-855-2297. We'll be right back to the break and hopefully get a couple more calls.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
All right, welcome back to Cowboys Storyline. We got a few more minutes here to wrap up the show, wrap up this week. And I was driving in today, and I said, if I get a call from North Carolina, it's gonna bring me back to what's kind of been on my mind here the last, I would say, 12, 24 hours. So I tell you what, man, I don't feel old, but when you start losing people that you went to college with, my second roommate in college, he's from North Carolina, huge Cowboy fan. And he passed away over the last couple of days. Shocking. So I tell you what, life is so short. I don't have to say that to you guys. You guys know that. But sometimes we get these reminders about it. So my man Zach, he was a big Cowboy fan, and he's living in North Carolina, or he was living in North Carolina. So it's just a sad deal. That's what I got the news last night, hearing from a buddy like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then you realize, oh, you're calling for bad news. Like, not good. So, anyways, hug your friends, call your friends, your loved ones, all that stuff. You guys know it. But, yeah, he was a huge Cowboy fan, man. Always talked Cowboy football. So, all right, let's go. But no, we do have a caller from North Carolina. That's what brought me to that. So, Eric in North Carolina. Eric, what's up, man?
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Good.
I am sorry for your loss, and Zach, that was sad to hear.
Yeah, just saw him a couple years ago. He flew in. We got to hang out at our old college in Midwestern State. It was a homecomings. We got to hang out, but we were planning another trip at some point to do that. So, anyways, life is short.
Well, at least y'all got to hang out that time, though. You know, you got some memories.
Sure.
But I liked your question that you posed earlier, as far as like what's the biggest disappointment and like what's the happiest thing, I guess you might say.
Well, yeah, just your biggest surprise. You know, like a pleasant surprise and then a disappointment. What about for you?
Okay. Well, my biggest surprise was actually the play of Josh Butler, corner. And then my biggest disappointment was the numerous season-ending injuries, especially to key players. But it kind of gives me hope for next year. I thought Josh Butler played really nice. We've had so many corner injuries, and I definitely don't like the play of Andrew Booth. He's got like no technique. I think he's just very poor. And then Aurier, he's made a couple of plays, but he's still below average. But, Butler heals from his ACL injury. I'm looking forward to see him play some more next year.
Yeah. Yeah. He was just a fighter. You know, that Washington game, he was just scrapping. I mean, they kept throwing at him, and he was giving up plays. I mean, he was part of that long touchdown that tied the game, or almost tied the game. They didn't. You have to make extra points in the league to tie the game. But he was part of that too. But still, there was something about his play. He was fighting, man. It was a tough injury. But the whole cornerback position, they were just trying to figure out who to play next, and Oruwariye here and Butler here and Booth and Kalen Carson. I mean, it was not to be expected. It was supposed to be Diggs and Bland, and then and Jordan Lewis. That's what it was supposed to be, and certainly didn't work out that way. They played one game.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I thought Butler. I think he has good savvy and good anticipation. He seemed like he understands the game real well. But yeah, just the injuries to Overshone and Prescott and Lawrence, and then Parsons for those 5 games, and Martin, and on and on and on. But I still enjoy watching the Cowboys play. I watch them all, win or lose.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of disappointment this year, obviously. But it's. I would throw Jake Ferguson in there as just the disappointment that we didn't see him take that next level. That was one that I wanted. I thought he would kind of do that and take that. He got injured, so it wasn't just all just that. And he caught 50 passes or so, but it just it just wasn't that next level that I thought maybe he had in him.
Yeah, is this his 3rd year?
Yes. Yeah, he's
okay. Yes. Sir.
I mean, he's up for contract. I mean, he could. No, he's not up for a contract. He's got one more year, but I mean, they could give him a deal if they want. They probably will not. But
I wouldn't mind letting him go in free agency, and maybe by then, Schoonmaker will be developed. I think Schoonmaker is a good receiver. He surprised me the few times he's caught a pass. He seemed like a real smooth receiver. I think he's just got to continue to work on his blocking and different things, of course. Anyway.
All right. Well, appreciate it, Eric. Have a nice...
I hope you have a terrific day.
Thank you.
Oh, and one quick thing. A shout-out to my stepdaughter, Ashley, who's getting married tomorrow.
Nice. Well, good luck with that. And,
all right.
Yeah, that should be awesome. Awesome there. A little Christmas, New Year's wedding. And good stuff. All right. Let's go to Josh. He's next in Chicago. Josh, what's up, man?
Not much. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I kind of agree with one of the other callers about Mike. It's shutting down CeeDee. I kind of wonder if he's already got something working about a new contract, which I'm okay with, especially if we make a few changes or tweaks on the offensive side. But talking about backup quarterbacks for next year, I agree with you. I mean, if they re-sign Cooper Rush, I'm going to be okay with that.
Yep.
I kind of want to see Trey Lance these last 2 games, though. Let's see what he has and let's try to evaluate him. I don't think there's any meaningless games when you can evaluate players, so make it mean something by giving him a chance maybe and see what he can actually do in this offense and see where it goes. Maybe he's our backup next year. Who knows? But I'm going Oh, sorry.
No, I hear you. That's what's made this whole thing kind of tricky with the 2 quarterbacks both being unrestricted free agents next year, and you kind of trying to see what the plan is. What are they trying to do? Who are they trying to evaluate for what? And for who? So it's showing me that they are leaning towards Cooper Rush, trying to bring him back, trying to keep it going with him. And I don't know if they need to see Trey Lance. It just seems like a 4th-round pick that they just gave away, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right about that too, right? They might be saying, "Hey, we're done with him," because Cooper Rush has been serviceable, and especially when the line plays well and he actually has some time to throw, he can make some good throws. He's made some, obviously poor ones, but he's a backup, so there's a reason why he's not a starter.
Yeah.
But he's been a serviceable backup, so I'm not trying to disrespect him at all. He's won games, he's got a good winning record as a starter, so he does good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think he has been everything you would want for a backup quarterback to be. I mean, other than more mobile, you want that, but you sometimes those guys are pretty erratic too with the ball. If they're a backup quarterback that could run around like that, then there's a reason why he doesn't start, and that sometimes that kind of surfaces throughout the game. So I'll take solid and take care of the football. But that's something that Cooper Rush has got to do. He fumbles sometimes. I mean, he's not a great athlete. You see Baker Mayfield caught like six of these snaps up high, low. Same with Dak. Romo was great at it. If the ball's not right here for Cooper Rush, sometimes the other team has it and it's first down. So you got to live with that. All right.
For this week, I'm predicting the Cowboys win. I think this defense is just playing so well. I think Mike and Carl Lawson are playing well, and obviously Leafau. Hopefully Kendrick Field's back on the field, but I'm going Cowboys 28, and we'll go Eagles 17.
Oh, nice. That would be
I don't think Hurts plays though.
That would be. Hey, don't feel sorry for anybody. So all good, all good if that happens. Now Pickett, he's a good quarterback. A couple good years for the Steelers. I think he was 7-10. I think I saw that 7-5. He was 7-5 2 years in a row as a starter. So he's 14-10 as a starter with Pittsburgh. They moved on obviously, and now but I saw him in the game. He wasn't feeling that great either. Had some ribs injuries. They should have won that game. He had a perfect pass there. The fourth quarter should have won, should have locked up the division. How different would things be now if that's the case? So we'll see. All right, let's go to another caller here. Paul is in Racine, Wisconsin. Did I say that right? Racine?
You did, Nick. It's
All
great
right.
to speak to you. I go back to, I think it was when I first started listening to you and Derek, like around 2007. And I think you had some young lady on who was from Wisconsin. I forget. She moved on, but I just remember listening.
Yeah.
I think it was like right around then, 2007. Yeah.
I think Dia Wall was from Wisconsin. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, because the fact that I'm having to figure out how to say it, Racine, which means I've never said it before, which means first-time caller, which means...
Let's go. Here we go. Yeah. So, no, it's good to finally speak to you. I listen as much as I can on the app and through the internet. But a couple things about the Cowboys that I wanted to talk to you about. Number one, you met biggest surprise. It has to be Rico Dabo.
Yeah.
And let me just say why. I think when you think about, like, in any employment situation, right, you're competing against peers.
Right.
And it would have been really easy for him to shut down after they re-signed Ezekiel. Like, what, I'm not good enough? And he never did that. He just kept his head down, kept working, and now he's a 1,000-yard rusher, and he's proven that he deserves the rock. He's the main guy. He deserves the rock. Biggest disappointment, and I kind of want your thoughts on this, is for me, Tyler Guyton. Just because he didn't show enough to me to prove that he can be that dominant left tackle that we've had historically for a very long time in the Cowboys' offensive line. And do you think he, at any point during the season, he made business decisions?
I won't say that because now I'm just going down a road that I don't know. Like, I don't know that. You can say that, and I know exactly what you're saying and what you're referring to. I don't know that, and I don't know him well enough to say that's what I think's happening. I'll agree with you though. It wasn't a good rookie year for a first round pick, and that's 2 years in a row now that the first round pick has been disappointing. There's more to it than just talent. He comes in the game the other day and gives up a sack. He's just not as plugged in as it feels like he should be. The fact that he's not even starting, and that's not. It's not ideal. You expected more. They wanted this Tyler Smith. That's what they wanted. They wanted to draft a guy like that. Now they knew he was going to be a little bit of a more of a project, but to this point, I think that it's still somewhat disappointing that he is not starting over Chuma Edoga because Chuma Edoga is a better left tackle than him. That's, I think, a disappointing part.
I agree. I see him, and you mentioned the number one pick from the year prior, Mozzie. I look at him, and I just don't see, like, 100% effort. I mean, Mozzie can't get off blocks, man. He just cannot get off a block. I don't know what it is with that guy, but, I just see a lack of real hardcore effort there, and that's just me. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, we're seeing like teams later in the year when they substitute players in, they're fresher, they give you more than maybe some of your everyday starters. Could you ever see a situation, particularly now with the lengthened season, where you're platooning guys a little bit? And I know they put people on pitch counts like Micah and stuff like that, but I just think that you see, like, across the league, not just the Cowboys, but across the league, when you bring in guys halfway, 2/3 of the way through the season who maybe haven't played a lot, they seem to be fresher and they give you more. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, all right. I appreciate the call, Paul. We're up against it time-wise. I'll answer that as quickly as I can. I mean, there's always give and take. There's give and take when you're talking about resting players and fresh players. You also want the guy, he's not starting for a reason. So you're giving up something there. And because of the way it is with salary cap and all that, no one has a ton of depth to just be bringing these guys in with no drop-off. So there's cases you could make where guys do come in and they are fresh and they're good, but what are their warts? What's the reason why they don't start? Is it just because there's too many good players? Because there's not a lot of teams that have that luxury. So I think you got to just you pick your spots. It comes down to the coaching. It comes down to the preparation. It comes down to the overall scheme of buying in. These running backs that are paying attention and what's going on in the meetings and practice and all that. So that means when they do get their turn, they're ready to go. I think it comes down to coaching more than it comes down to rest and things like that, because I think you want your best players to play. I hear what you're saying, but I think that there's times where it's more than just rest and fresh legs. It's a combination of a lot of things, and I think it's probably a lot more of a discussion than we have time for here, because we are rolling into the next show. Cowboys Breaks coming up next here in a few minutes. So for everyone, thanks. A lot of good calls today. 10 calls. Got the first-time callers. Good to hear from you guys. We will be back on Monday to talk about Cowboys and Eagles. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. See you next time on Cowboys Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?